Hello. Hello. Echo. Echo. Hello, 8 people watching the live stream. For those of you watching, do you hear an echo? Let me know if you hear any echoing. I think there's about 10 seconds or so delay. So there's still echo. Okay. I will disable the microphone. Remove. Okay, let me know how that is, guys. Is there still any echo with the microphone? Not anymore, no more echo. Okay, that's good. Trying to find Caledonian works. Alrighty. Okay, so I think now the time has come to test the, to sort of see about the audio levels. So I think we'll make a move. We'll get this engine underway. Whoops! Alright then, chaps, so we're heading from Llandiadog up to Pantygasog, Caledonian Railway 944 class tank, and a bunch of British Railways Mark 1s, which actually I have to say I think these particular Mark 1s go quite well with the Caledonian Railway light blue livery, although I'm pretty sure that most of you won't agree with me with that. Let me know how is the sounds? Is it too loud? Is train sim too loud? Am I too loud? Let me know what you guys think about the audio levels. So today I've managed to go and get myself a new monitor so that I can have a second screen. The reason I haven't been able to do live streaming up until now is because, well, because I haven't had a second monitor for my laptop. I'm up in Hull. Now that I've got a second monitor, I can have the live stream itself open on the screen next to me. Oh, the sounds are pretty good. Okay, that's good. That's a good sign. It means I'll be able to do a lot more live streams. Audio's fine. Alright, that's good. Have you guys gone and bought this Caledonian Railway Pacific tank engine yet? Because if you haven't, go and buy it. Jack Smith asks if the loco is any good. Yes, it comes in all sorts of liveries. There's like British Railways, LMS Crimson, LMS Black, and Caledonian Railway Light Blue, which I believe that they only carried this light blue livery. Look sharp, sound is crystal clear. That is good news. James Wright asks about how's work for the next episode of Over the Hills coming on. Well, James, considering your last comment in the AWP Facebook group, I won't be responding to you. Not worth my time, I'm afraid. Alrighty. Funk Bros Funk says, Welshman, I'm chasing you in a black 5. Well, if you're chasing me in a black 5, you need to remember that the line speed at this section is 25 miles per hour. So, yeah. I don't remember how much this loco actually cost. Was it $14.99 or $12.99? I don't remember actually. But I can honestly recommend it to everyone. Listen to the echo inside the tunnel. I love that little whistle. Top Hat Productions asks if I've chosen new voice actors for any roles in Over the Hills. Yes, I have chosen a few already. I will admit that I've been sort of painfully slow at working on getting that sorted because of my new job. But it will, you know, in the next, now that I'm sort of set up here and getting stuck into the new job I'm in, I can, like, you know, actually focus on other things now as well. Here we are, rolling into Pantygasog station. I forgot I don't actually have a loco brake. Dump the brakes. I'm gonna overshoot. Oh, no I'm not. Oh my god, am I actually gonna land? Oh my god, I'm gonna stop in exactly the right position. Ha! That was a total fluke. That was completely a fluke. Awesome. Funk Brothers asks, can I put Duncan in Over the Hill? Who's Duncan? I'm guessing you mean Duncan as in the little yellow thing from Thomas the Tank Engine. In that case, no, I can't really put Duncan in my show. Alrighty. When you don't try your best and you still succeed. Hey, it's James Horex, JH55000. Hey James, how's it going, man? It is a very nice shade of blue. This Caledonian light... Let me try speaking English. Caledonian Railway light blue. So we'll shut the firebox door, release the brake, and I think we might start rolling backwards. It sort of depends where you stop on this platform and how many coaches you have, but there is somewhere along this little stretch of track where it's slightly downhill. It seems that we're more or less in the right place now, so we're not moving. But there's been times, if I've only got a few coaches on, that I sort of end up rolling backwards, which is quite bizarre. Funk Brothers asks, am I British? Yes, I am British. I'm actually Welsh, although my nationality on my passport is British. Can't go yet. Squire's not here. It's a shame that we, even though we got the 1400, it'd be nice to have that the tramway coach to go with it. And then you could put a Great Western Toad on that. Speak Welsh, it's probably easier. How are they releasing stuff? Well, it's because Chris of Caledonian works. I think he takes like, he gets up in the morning, snorts about 12 lines of cocaine, and then goes, right, let's make stuff for Train Sim. And then at the end of the day, he's like, ooh, I've made like 5 locos today. And we shouldn't really joke about that. Chris works very hard. He's a very talented model maker for Train Sim. And if he's watching now, Chris, I have plugged all of your models. Caledonian works. I will be making proper reviews of this as well at some point. FGC Gaming, hello from Indonesia. Hello from Indonesia. Which part of Indonesia are you from? Jakarta or Sumatra? You should come to America. Well, I've spent most of the last 6 years in America. I've been back and forth joining ships in the United States, which was my career. I used to work on cruise ships, but now I've changed my job. The reason is I want to spend more time with my family, and training to do this job now means I will be able to do so. Power. Oh, James, I didn't know you gave me the Caledonian Railway coaches. I thought you... Oh, okay. Yeah, this is a bit weird. Jakarta Timur. Excellent. FGC Gaming, I used to work with lots of the guys from Indonesia. They work on the cruise ships that I used to work on. And if you ask any one of them where they're from, they're just like Jakarta. So, even though Indonesia is a friggin' massive place, it seems Jakarta is the only city in all of Indonesia. You're a teacher, it's the weekend. What do you mean it's the weekend? It's Thursday, not the weekend, unless... Does Indonesia have different days for the weekends? Perhaps they do. I don't know, maybe. Oh, sorry, I was saying, James, I didn't know that you actually gave me those Caledonian Railway coaches. I knew you gave me Dolgoch as to preview, but I didn't know you gave me the coaches. I will have a little look for them. So I do apologise for that. But you're right, I could have used them for that video. Continue the Bill and Ted series. Well, I'm afraid Bill and Ted probably won't be returning to YouTube. I might do like a special or something, but I don't plan on, at the moment, I don't plan on returning the show to YouTube. Oh my god, we got an Australian in the chat, have we? So guys, I'm going to try and focus on the chat a lot more. I know in the last few live streams I've said this. What kind of ships? What? Wyatt Doran? I used to work on cruise ships for the last 6 years. Well, let me just explain. I started off as a cadet, which is like an apprentice, years ago. I worked on car carrying ships for Wallenius Wilhelmsen. I don't know if you know the company, but they operate car carriers. And they're just basically like parking garages that float, to put it simply. When I finished my cadetship, because they were only interested in taking me on for training because they got tonnage tax exemptions for having ships under the UK flag, and then at the end of the training they said bye bye, no job for you. After that I worked very briefly on a bulk carrier, the Celtic Challenger. I only did one trip. It was only 7 days on that ship, so it was only for a favour. I didn't even get paid. It's because my dad used to work for the company, and they're based in South Wales. But then after that, I got a job working for Holland America Line, which is cruise ships. I spent about 6 years working there. I got my next qualification, and a few months ago I did an interview and I got a job as an apprentice pilot. So what a pilot is when a ship goes into port, you take on a pilot, and they're a person in the maritime sector that has local knowledge of the area. So you know they know a particular area, and they can give the master on the ship, you know, lots of good advice, local advice. They can communicate with all the companies that you have to deal with, that sort of thing. The first year of the training is on the Humber region. So the Humber is a river up in the northeast of England. So I'm training up there, and eventually next year I will move back down to South Wales, which is where I'm from. So it means that I'm going to be paid a significant amount of money to do something that I love. Sailing is what I absolutely love, sailing and driving ships. I absolutely love it. I really, you know. So eventually, when I'm all qualified, I'll be being paid essentially like £65,000 a year to do something that I love on a part-time basis. So really, it's a win-win situation for me, and it means that I can spend a lot more time at home with my wife and family. Do I plan to come to America to see a big boy? Well, I would have liked to have seen the big boy while I was there. Unfortunately, I wasn't really able to do much of like going ashore and travelling on railways, but who knows, maybe when the big boy is restored I might make a special trip out and travel behind it. But we'll see. I mean, I know American railway enthusiasts don't particularly like British railway enthusiasts coming over and enjoying their stuff. Well, my kid. I have to say that the quality of this stream is actually looking really nice. It's only a few seconds behind, which is good. The quality is really high compared to my my gaming PC. This is actually streaming in what looks like 1080p. Can you tell? Oh, it should be 1080p. Any of you guys watching, can you just see what sort of frame rate thing? You know what I mean? Is it 360? Is it 1080? Is it 720? Whatever. Just sort of see how it's going. Wyatt, you build Ford Mustangs? That's awesome, man. What, do you work at the Ford manufacturing plant? Building actual, like, new ones, or are you talking about restoring old ones? Oh, stop. Shut off the injector. There we go. Little and often. Wish-o! Wish-o. There we go, 1080. Excellent. The thing is thinging. Yes, James, that is good technical jargon right there. The thing is doing the thing. let's do more technical jargon. I will twiddle the thing, and I will open the doohickey and shovel the what's it. I think this is actually quite a heavy load for such a small engine. Although I say small engine, I mean it is pretty much just a tank version of most express locos. Poop poop. Is Sir Handel in your video? Oh, you mean from the whistle? Is that the whistle that they use for Sir Handel in the Railway series, James? Just reading the comment there from Railroad Preserver 2000 about American Steam. Yeah, I mean, American Steam hasn't really fared very well in preservation, has it? I mean, there are quite a number of heritage steam railways and, you know, locomotives that did survive, but, you know, yeah, there's not that many overall. But then you got like Union Pacific 844 is a really good. Although it's not really preserved, is it? It was sort of earmarked to be the sort of, I guess, like the ambassador of steam in the future. So they sort of said, we'll keep it running, which is really good because not many. I think it's one of the only railway companies in the world. Actually, no, that's not true. That's not true. There are a couple of railway companies in Switzerland. I can think of one particular example, the Schenigi Plateau Bahn in the Bernese Oberland. They electrified their railway completely back in like 1915, 1920, just after the First World War. They completely electrified their line. However, they decided that they were going to keep one steam engine, and they broke up all the others and sold them off, you know, and they kept one steam locomotive in operation, and the reason being was to run it a couple of times a year on works trains when they had to take the overhead wires down to prevent them being damaged by the avalanches on the mountain. So they kept an operational steam locomotive for many years for that exact reason. And since then, and I think they actually still use it for that reason as well, although I'm not sure. Maybe they've got overhead catenary that doesn't need to be taken down now, but dump. You don't really have a lot of choice about where you stop here at I can't even remember the name of the station, Pontimile. Basically you have to block the main road so that you can sit in the platform. Not sure how the local residents feel about it, but meh, whatever. We're wasting steam. Let's put some water in. Oh yeah, the 903 Cardines. I was actually thinking of using the Cardine for this video, but for some reason I couldn't find it in the list of locos. So if anyone feels like helping me out where to find it in the list of locos, maybe I'll do a stream with the Cardine. Let's go. Perp perp. Is that even with your Great Western Clerestories? No, these are the Mark 1s. Have you seen any of the bulbous built army locos that are in Britain. Do you mean like the narrow gauge ones? The yeah, there's Mountaineer on the Festiniog line. Uh-oh. I think the stream just went funny for a moment. Yeah, I'm not really sure why your PC deleted Train Sim there, Trainmaster 15, and I really don't know why it would do that. Power. Power to the Caledonian. Does England have 2664 Malays? No. The UK never really went with Malays. The UK used to have Garretts, but they're all gone. In fact, there's only one standard gauge Garrett left in the United Kingdom now, and that was an industrial one. A little 040 thing. We do have a number of, what are they called? 060, 060 Garretts, but they're all narrow gauge, but they were regate, you know, the South African locos that were running on the Festiniog and Welsh Highland Railways. In fact, my parents are actually on the Welsh Highland Railway right now at this moment. The bastards. Not inviting me to go with them. Oh, James, you're on about the clerestories fitting in the platform. Well, they did kind of fit in the platform, didn't they? I think. Not 100%. FGC Gaming asks, what route is this? This is the Eswaith branch, which I've modified to be the Pennine Valley Railway, and as I keep saying on hundreds of times, is no difference really between this and the Eswaith branch. It's virtually identical. Yeah, that's true. You do get to enjoy my wonderful company. You get to enjoy me shouting abuse at people via proxy. Whilst bigging up the glory of the Caledonian Railway. I wasn't actually planning on doing a full run of the Landier Dog line, to be honest. I kind of just improvising. I might have to rename this live stream if I'm going to end up doing a full length run. Alright, 40 miles an hour. Line speed. You love the Caledonian Railway, Wyatt? Yeah, so does Chris. He's the gentleman behind Caledonian Works, and he's actually from Ohio, I believe. He's our resident American, but he has Scottish heritage. Would I recreate the Caledonian Railway? Well, if I had the time or the skills to do it, I probably wouldn't. The reason being, it's not because I don't want to see the Caledonian Railway rebuilt in Train Sim or trains, whatever. It's because I would do something based in South Wales, but that's because that's my interest. If someone else was to make the Caledonian Railway, I would certainly buy it and download it. You know, it'd be really good to have. Eva Fan 002, yeah, I guess you were from Australia. And I guess from that comment you're talking about the what's it called? The radio that they're using. And if their language would make an old sailor blush, well, believe me, I've met some old sailors, and I don't think anything would make them blush. So I'd be impressed. I'd be impressed if they could. Oh, Wyatt has Welsh, Polish, and Irish heritage. Well, I think it's probable that every single American in the world has Irish heritage. You see, it's pretty much like America is made up of Irish, Dutch, or Mexicans. So, you know. Although I'm pretty sure that Mexicans came from like Spain and Portugal and all that. Since we're all talking about what our ancestry is, I am Welsh, and I have a certain amount of German blood as well. My Trainmaster 15 has some German heritage. And Trainmaster says his great-grandfather was a Nazi. Well, you know, there's no real light way of saying it. I think everyone in Germany at that time was a Nazi, because if you weren't a Nazi, you were an enemy of the state. So, you know, that's just how it is. Yeah, we're blowing off. It's probably because I'm shoveling about 400 tons of coal on. Managing alright, we're not having any problems with this Caledonian loco. For a tank engine, she's actually handling her... Is it 7 coaches? Let's see. Let's do some counting. Counting with Reese. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 Mark 1s. Henry Yang is Chinese. Hello, Chinese. Shut the reg now. Put the injector on. It is interesting to sort of read through the comments where people are coming from. Like, I've seen a number of Americans, a number of Brits, and I think one Australian. One from Indonesia, one from China. Where else have we got people watching today from? Let's see, where are the viewers of today's live stream from? One person's from Mars, another person's from everywhere, another person's from Cybertron. Okay. Dr. Pepper and Bourbon. Bloody hell. That's an whiskey and Dr. Pepper. I don't think I've ever tried that. But now that you've mentioned it, I'm more intrigued. I think I might try it. One guy from Hong Kong. Oh, if you're from Hong Kong, you're basically British though, aren't you? Yeah. From Mid Wales, living in the Netherlands. In the Netherlands. Goedemorgen. Do you speak Dutch? If you're living in Holland. Too many Brits and Americans. You can never have too many Brits and Americans. Well, you can always have too many Americans, but you can never have enough British people. We'll come to your country, we'll plant our flag, and then we'll steal your money and biscuits. Norfolk. Hey James, there's another guy from Norfolk. Why are you drinking Dr. Pepper and whiskey at 8 o'clock in the morning? Hardcore. It's now we're arriving at Abersaith. Not as much as I should be. Now this is a station that even I can't mess up. Although that may be a challenge, I probably could if I really tried. Brakes on, drive. Oh, we probably ought to take on some water. We've only got 1,400 gallons. I'm not sure how many we had when we started, but it doesn't help. I've put, again, 400 tons of coal in, so we'll move forward a bit. We'll take on some more. Let's see if I can actually line it up with the water tower. Brakes! No! Oh, I might just about get away with it. You know, this is so hard because in real life... okay. You know, in real life you just kind of go, whatever, we'll just move the bag. But in Train Sim you have to pretty much stop it in exactly the right place. 1,880, I guess that's all the water we're going to get. Okay. I didn't actually press T, but okay, everybody's getting out. I don't know if any of you saw from the Black 5 video the other day that it must have, when we got back to Land Eardog, there was like 200 million people going off the train. There's a ship blasting past its horn past your window. Where are you from then, Wyatt? Which part of America are you from? In Indonesia we have diesels. We have a railway museum of Ambarawa that runs steam locos. There's also a route for Ambarawa to Jambu. Oh, but is that the Indonesian route where they operate, what's it called? You know, straw burning steam? Or am I thinking of somewhere else? Oh God! It's Nathan. Nathan, what the hell are you doing here? Get out of my live stream. Oh, Wyatt is looking for wheel slip. I don't think that the Caledonian Railway locos have wheel slip. Like, that's full reg. Yeah, nothing. Ah, well. Maybe in the future. Did I set the points? Whoops. Yeah, I did. But we're good, you know. Who needs rails? Will Over the Hills have the 7th episode? Henry Yang, yes, there will be an episode 7 of Over the Hills, but I don't yet have an ETA on it. Now that, basically, I explained in my Black 5 video that now that 64-bit has been released for Train Sim, you could see already, you know, that just running this route, it is so much more stable than before. When I was doing live streams and all before, I couldn't really get this far without having at least like one dump file. So the fact that we're able to do live streams again on this route, and I'm going to use the Bossman Games Black 5 later at some point, you know, it is sort of a testament that 64-bit really is a huge improvement. Red rods. I should have plugged in my Xbox controller. Actually, I'm going to try plugging it in now. Because this happened to me the other day, is when I plugged in my Xbox controller, and then... Did it work? No. It didn't work this time, damn it. Now the other day I plugged it in after I already started Train Sim, and it worked. Now normally you have to like restart Train Sim if you plug in your Xbox controller. NK Productions, Nathan had 3 dump files yesterday with 64-bit. Well, Nathan, my suggestion to you is to verify the integrity of your game cache and alternately reinstall Train Sim because something has gone wrong for you. You know, I've seen a lot of comments from you about your system not working. So what I would say is just copy and paste your assets and content folders and then get Train Sim to re-download itself and then just merge your assets and content again so that it doesn't re-download all of that. Alright, Wyatt says, I'm from Lake Orion. I moved to Arizona 7 years ago and just moved back to take care of my grandmother. 2-bedroom apartment in Port Huron right next to the coast. Lake Orion. I'm not sure where Lake Orion is. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not sure where Lake Orion is. Is it that the Great Lakes? Oh, I'm going way too fast. Slow down, slow down, slow down. Burp. I got distracted by comments there. Poop, poop. Right, I'm still going way too fast here, so, burp. Poop, poop. We are coming to an uphill section as well, I think, so hopefully in a few seconds we'll start losing speed, because I'm doing way too fast. What frames am I getting per second? Well, oh, how do I see the frames per second? Guys, for those of you in the know, could you please tell me what keys is it to see the, how much FPS you're getting? I can't remember how to bring it up. Let's have a can of Pepsi while we're waiting. Pepsi Max for the brave hearted. Shift Z. Okay, Shift Z brings up frames per second. Ah, 60 frames a second. There we go. Oh, James, I'm not using Bandicam. I'm using XSplit, so it's slightly different. This is the live stream broadcaster. Now it's about 50 frames. What are my PC specs? I can't remember. I'm on a laptop. It's an MSI Titan Pro laptop with a 1080 Ti desktop graphics card in it. Was it 7,800 kilowatt or kilohertz processor? And that's about all I can remember right now of the specs. James asks, am I going to the Midlands Model Engineering Exhibition this weekend? No, but now you've mentioned it, depends where it is, because I don't know if I'm not really in the Midlands, I'm further north, so I suppose I could go to it. Does the UK still operate electrics? Yes, we do. In fact, not enough. We're in the process of electrifying the Great Western Main Line, which they're only doing as far as Cardiff, which is stupid. The original plan was to go straight to electric from from steam. For some reason that never happened. That was back in the 50s. The modernisation plan was actually intended that diesel would be a stopgap. It would be a temporary measure between steam and electric. And that only came about because the astronomical cost of electrification, after they did the East Coast Main Line in the 50s or 60s, they realised just how expensive it was. So they said, meh, it's going to be cheaper to just run diesels for a lot longer. So we were never meant to be like a diesel nation. We were meant to go straight from steam to electric, like what Europe did. But Britain being Britain, we're retarded. Leamington Spa. Yeah, that's really too far south. West Coast Main Line in the 50s. Okay, it was West Coast. Dooby-doo. There's the castle. There's the distance signal for Pennyog. Already set for the correct road. Paynton Mahia says about a railway in Washington State. There is another one in Colorado, which it still has a steam locomotive, which is a rack railway. It actually looks like, very Swiss oriented. Like the Mount Washington one is like, it's got your characteristic sort of American style on the loco. But the other one, is it Pikes Peak? I think it's the Pikes Peak Railroad, or Mountain Railroad, which has these locos which really are, they look Swiss. This is certainly the steam engine does. I slowed down way too early. Here we are at Pennyog. We'll shut the reg. We'll just let her roll on a little bit further. Just a touch past the point. And brakes applied. How are we for position there? Because the last time I did it, we were... never mind. Whatever. How am I still blowing off? Welcome to Pennyog, ladies and gents. There is a narrow gauge railway here. I don't think I've ever done anything on the narrow gauge railway that's here. It would be an interesting one because it's only a very short route. Little quarry. Alright, it's a steep old climb out of here. So I'm just putting some water in the boiler. I've shoveled some coal. I'm amazed that there's still 28 people watching a live stream, like, is it 1:30 in the afternoon on a Thursday? Don't you guys have, like, jobs or school or anything? Oh god, I shouldn't have eaten that Big Mac. I feel ill. So as you can tell, it's a very steep climb out of Pennyog. She's not really going all that fast, is she? In fact, we're slowing down. which is quite worrying. So 1 in 70 gradient here. I don't really have any, I don't have a banker. I think we'll just have to hope that we get up the hill. What is that spindly little rod thing near the rear axle? Oh, you mean that thing? That could be one of a couple of things. Could be a speed indicator. Although I think it's more likely to be like a lubricator. A mechanical lubricator. Yeah, I don't have any banking engines, I'm afraid, ladies and gents. I think we'll just have to stop there. Oh well. Perhaps a bit off more than I could chew. That's a 1 in 70 gradient out of Pennyog, which is particularly steep from a standing start with a tiny, well, it's not a tiny engine, but 7 heavy Mark 1s. I probably should have had a banker to help, which is a shame because I didn't think I would need one. Yes, you are right, we do need Leslie. We're blowing off. We'll try again in a moment. Since we're blowing off, I think we'll just try now. This is the real test. Oh god. Will she turn her first revolution? Come on. Right, she's not going to do it. Which is really disappointing. So what we'll do is we'll have a run up. We'll set back out of Pennyog into the previous section. And we'll power it through Pennyog to see if we can get up the gradient. It's actually a really good note for the operations manual of the Llandeardog and Pennyog Railway, I think. I think everybody's rush should make the passengers get out and push. Alright, let's go. Let's keep going. What's the gradient here? I think this poor little Caledonian loco might have met its match here with this gradient, but we'll have a running start this time. We'll get a special dispensation from the signalman for entering the section behind us. I'm blowing off now. I better shovel some more coal because I'm just wasting steam now. Because in a minute we're going to need more. We're going to need all the steam we can get. So I know you're probably thinking, "Oh, he's wasting all that lovely coal." I think that'll do it. Right, so we'll stop shoveling there. We'll shut off the injector there. And as soon as we've come to a complete stand, power! I don't remember it being quite this difficult to get moving. Somebody's put the handbrake on. How? What? The handbrake was on. What the hell? How did what button? I must have put the handbrake on. I don't remember what key it was to put the handbrake on. That's why we couldn't get up the hill. Because the sodding handbrake was on. God damn it. I knew this engine had more power than that. I thought all of a sudden it's just got like... You know, this engine just completely lost its balls. All of a sudden. Jesus. Well, that was embarrassing. Let's get going. We're already about 10 minutes behind time. Yeah, look, the speed's still lifting up as we're going up the gradient. Question mark. I don't know how I pressed... Yeah, James, it was that mysterious handbrake putter on a guy. I don't know who he is. He's the phantom handbrake guy. Yeah, I was wondering why this loco just suddenly, you know, took its balls off. Well, I think I owe Chris Wilson an apology there, because I've just disgraced his engine saying, oh, it's got no power. It was operator error all along. So there we go. Yeah, alright, off we go. We'll just pretend that never happened. Sam Logan has just come in and said no. Why? Why no? Yeah, Sam, I don't know how long you've been watching for, but I've completely disgraced the Caledonian Railway. Use Caledonian coaches. Yeah, you're right, Sam. I should have used the Matrix Trains Caledonian coaches, but to be honest, I wasn't really planning to do this as a live stream. This was more meant to be a live stream test of my laptop, the Spitfire. So yeah, that's why I just stuck something on the front of the Mark ones that were already there. I wasn't actually intended to do it. You saw me be a bad boy. Well, Sam, you know how it is. Anyone can accidentally apply the handbrake and then not realise that they've accidentally applied the handbrake. This is a nice level bit. There's no, not really any gradients now, it's all completely level here. Boop boop. You guys, the stream might have just stopped there for a moment for you guys, so it's because I went to the desktop. I was messing about with something. Whoops. I think I messed up again. I definitely need some loco stop boards. So we'll just hand over the token. Bajink! And again here. Bajink! James, shut up. I have taken the correct token. Or have I? Oh, shit, balls. Shit, balls, shit, balls, shit, balls, shit, balls. Oh, we're good. I only mildly shit myself, just to make sure we got into the right station. And again, another Pennine Valley Railway service has made it to Llandeard, to Blaenbarres. Okay, there's a couple of people saying Wales, you nutter. Just so you know, my name isn't Wales. Just so you know. And there we have it, ladies and gents. That is it. We have made it to Blaenbarres. And that is the Caledonian Railway 944 tank. It's the latest release from Caledonia Works. I recommend that you go and buy it right now, and if you haven't, why not? Just do it. I don't know what else you're going to do with your life, you know. Spend all your money on the DLC from Caledonian Works. Do it. Do it now. Do it now, mind control. Isms. Alright, well I think now is a good time to leave it. So for the 21 people still watching the live stream, we've made it to Blaenbarres. Thanks for watching, and we'll call that the end of the live stream. I think it's been quite successful. It seems all the audio levels are good. It seems the stream strength is pretty good. And I'm sure in the near future you'll see more live streams from me. So, see you again.